Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to a beautiful spring day here in Franklin, Tennessee. Last night we had a crazy weather pattern come through, just a bunch of hail and rain, and heard that there was some tornadoes down south of us in Alabama and Georgia. But it looks like everything was okay here for us other than just a lot of rain. This morning I decided to go and take a walk around the yard and see how things are going, and I have noticed that we are getting a lot of good greening in the lawn. I also noticed that we are getting green of a different kind, which is a little bit of a weed problem. So let me show you what that looks like, and then we're going to talk a little bit about how we're going to take care of it. So let's take a look. So I'm getting stuff like that right there, which is pretty typical in the spring. I'm also getting some POA right around there. There's some more POA and weeds there. But overall, you can see that it's really starting to green up a little bit. And then when we get over here to the side, we are seeing some other weeds that are kind of getting in the way. So we're gonna have to deal with all of that. Over here on the side where the perennial ryegrass is and my neighbor's fescue is looking pretty good. Nothing really too crazy other than you can see in the lighter green there, lighter green up here, you're seeing quite a bit of POA. I'm not gonna mess with that stuff too much today. When we get to the back actually looks pretty good. It's still fairly dormant. Right over here in this area, it's starting to green up just a little bit, and that's mostly because it's on a hill and we get a lot of afternoon sun back here. So it's starting to green up a little bit faster than over here, which is still fairly dormant. But if you look at the putting green, man, that is looking so good. I may, if I have time later on, I'm gonna get the reel out here and do a quick cut out here just to see how it looks like. One of the things that I want to talk about was how do we deal with spring weeds? Well, there's obviously the herbicide method, which is to just spray a bunch of chemicals and kill everything. But if you notice, I don't have a lot of weeds, especially back here on this hill. So my preferred method in the spring is to actually just do it the old-fashioned way and pull it. And the reason why I do that is because the grass is still coming out of dormancy and I don't want to hit it with a bunch of herbicides that are actually going to have a potential of stunting its growth and its emergence from dormancy. So I put down pre-emergent. That should take care of my crabgrass and some of the other weeds, but obviously, you know, the POA and everything else is still coming in. That's usually taken care of by the pre-emergent from the fall. If you have POA in your lawn, you're gonna have a POA problem. And quite frankly, the best way to deal with POA is just to pull it. So that's what we're gonna do today. And I'll show you my little method of doing it. It's not really that complex if you really think about it. Well, the way that we are going to deal with this is pretty simple. I basically like to pry the weeds out just a little bit. And the reason why is I feel like I get a better amount of the roots with it when I do that. So don't want to do too much because I don't want to damage the levelness of the Bermuda. But if I pull it out just a little bit, seems like I get a better amount of weeds and then just put it all back together. That's pretty much it. Nothing really super complex. Like I said, there's not that many weeds here, but I figure we would just go ahead and deal with a pulling of them as opposed to sit there and try and kill it with a bunch of chemicals, because you know how that goes, is we don't need to put any more chemicals into the ground as absolutely necessary, and I'd much rather feed the lawn than to kill it with a bunch of herbicides. So that's what we're gonna do. Just follow us along, it'll be fun. that's everything that I got. It's actually quite a bit if you think about it, but got to do the work if you want to get the results. All right, folks, well, that's pretty much it. You can see a little bit of indentations there in the grass of where I was able to pull up the weeds. I'll be honest with you, like it looks, I know the video is in a time lapse and it goes by pretty quick, but it is actually very, very therapeutic. When you look at the grass right there, again, just a few little indentations, but for the most part, I got pretty much everything I need to get out of there. Hopefully you've got another idea of a way to get your weeds out of your lawn. Like I said, this time of the year, I mean, you could throw down a bunch of herbicides and it's gonna get rid of the weeds. You know, I wanna let the Bermuda have its best chance to get out of dormancy without having a lot of external factors that it's gonna have to deal with. We're just pulling. There weren't that many. I mean, it didn't take me that long. I was out here for about an hour, hour and a half. And like I said, it was a great way to end up the week. I mean, it's Friday. Tomorrow it's gonna rain, so all these holes will get filled up with water and it'll move the dirt around and it'll be great. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and if you did, I'd appreciate a like. And if you haven't subscribed yet and I've earned your subscription, I would really appreciate that. Also, if you wanna be notified of future videos, don't forget to hit that bell. Have a great weekend, everybody, and we'll see you on the next one.